If you want to build massive anime villain arms like Toji Fushiguro, you don't need to pick up a single weight. In fact, I've actually built a pretty decent set of arms myself using primarily calisthenics exercises. And today, I'm going to show you how you can do the exact same thing and build yourself some massive anime villain arms without any weights. I'll be going into detail on how you can train your entire arm. I'll be giving you guys some calisthenics exercises that I've personally used over the years to build aesthetic arms. And I'm also going to show you the proper technique for each of these exercises so you can train your arms super effectively. Now, before we jump into it, let's take a look at what makes an anime villain arm super aesthetic. Take Toji, for example. He's got huge arms that allows him to wield a variety of weapons, massive swords, polearm nunchucks, and the inverted spear of gun. I like the gun. But that's beside the point. To be able to develop fully aesthetic arms, we need to train all three parts of them. The first and most obvious muscle is the bicep. Ah yes, everybody's favorite muscle. The biceps are what really show off that you go to the gym and work out. And if we look at Toji's arms, yeah, he definitely works out. But if we want to actually talk about arm size, we cannot sleep on the triceps. They make up 2/3 of your entire arm, so it's important to train those if you want to build arm mass. And especially for those who want to chase aesthetics, getting that horseshoe muscle that's on the back of your triceps is just chef's kiss. Amazing. But like I said before in my Train Like Toji video, it's not just about the biceps and triceps. We also got to put a lot of attention on those forearms. Now, forearms are often a lagging body part for most people, and a lot of people don't know how to properly train their forearms, especially in calisthenics. But it's important that you do know because they are essential for building aesthetic arms. For one, they're going to be the muscle that most people will see when you're in a t-shirt or if you roll up your sleeves. And second, it's a very attractive muscle to women. Like, someone who already looks built, already goes to the gym, is already an attractive guy. But once he whips out his veiny forearms, get your mind out of the gutter. No, you're gross. I don't know what it is about veiny forearms that are so attractive, but damn, it's crazy. When you're showing off those striations and that vascularity, I don't know. It looks very good, very aesthetic. But while I say that, don't go crazy on your forearm training. You don't want to look like Popeye, unless that's the look you're going for. So we got to train all of our arms thoroughly and evenly so that we have a nice balanced look. And of course, we're going to start with the biceps. Now, there are three main ways to train your biceps. The first, and one that you're probably all familiar with, is of course isolation movements. And isolation is very important because that's what's going to allow us to target all parts of our bicep. See, there's a reason why they call it the bicep, because it has two heads. The inner bicep, which is the short head, and the outer bicep, which is the long head. How I like to remember it is that the short head is a little short, small guy, and he likes to hide away in the body, in the armpit. Let's move on. The best way to target the short head is to do curling movements in front of your body. And the perfect exercise for that is doing bicep curls on the rings. The rings are especially good in this case because you want to get a nice contraction, a nice squeeze. So by rotating your hands outwards, you're going to get a nice peak contraction on those biceps. Now, if you don't have rings, like a lot of you don't, then I always recommend the good old broom and chairs. But a lot of you in the comments are saying that you're falling off your chairs or you're breaking your brooms. Guys, it's not that hard. I'll show you. Place the broom on the end of the chair that's farthest from you. That's very important for you not to fall off. Then sit yourself on the ground in the position you want to be in and grab the broom or mop by the ends closest to the chair. Do not grab the middle. For the love of God, please don't. And once you do that, you just pull away. Easy. No broken brooms, no falling off. Done. So now that you guys know how to use a broom, let's work on targeting the long head. And the best way to do that is curls behind the body, and we're going to achieve this with the pelican curl. Now, these are an amazing exercise and not a lot of people do them, and they emulate the bicep curl where you're leaning back on the bench and your arms are stretched sort of back behind you. And since your biceps are behind your body, you're going to get a nice stretch on those biceps, and that's going to promote more growth. Here's a question for you. Have you ever noticed that gymnasts have massive biceps? But of course, you don't see them doing bicep curls at the Olympics. Although, if that was a sport, I'd win. But instead, they actually do more of the second way we can train our biceps. And that follows one key principle. Your bicep has several key functions, and one of them is actually for bringing your arm upward with shoulder flexion. And you see a bunch of gymnasts do this when they practice straight arm skills such as the planche on the rings. And thus the bicep push-up or pseudo planche push-up is a perfect way to develop that straight arm strength and stress those biceps. By putting our biceps in such a disadvantageous position, we are stressing that muscle even more and promoting strength in that position. And this is what's going to help us build those massive gymnast biceps. The third way to train your biceps, and I'm going to be honest, it's probably the best way to train your biceps. It's probably better than any other curl you can think of. It's not just me saying this. Sam Sulik, even the great Mike Mentzer, also say that this is the best biceps exercise. I'll let the GOAT speak for himself.
And it just so happens to be true, audience. The close grip, palms up, pull down is the best bicep exercise in the world, better than any curl you could do. When doing a close grip, palms up, pull down, you're working the bicep around the joint, the elbow joint, and the shoulder. The muscle is contracting more uniformly from both ends.
Yeah, the close grip, palms up, pull down is one of the best bicep exercises. And the calisthenics version of that is the close grip chin up. And if you want to do it correctly, you want to have your hands at least shoulder width, ideally closer, and then you're going to want to pull yourself up as if you weren't doing a chin up, but focusing your biceps, almost curling your body to the bar. The pump you'll get from this exercise is like nothing else, and trust me, you're going to see a big difference in your biceps after doing this exercise. But as I said before, to build bigger arms, we're going to also want to focus on those triceps. And you already know it's called the tricep because it's got 3 heads: the long head, the lateral head, and the medial head. The best way to target the long head is by doing overhead tricep exercises, because that puts the muscle in a very stretched position. So doing tricep extensions on a couple of stools allows your arms to be overhead and target that long head tricep. You want to make sure you get a good stretch at the bottom and a nice hard contraction at the top for maximum growth. To target the lateral head and the medial head, which is that special horseshoe muscle on your tricep, this is where compounds are coming back in. And the best exercise for this, like the chin up, is going to put more emphasis on that tricep, and that's going to be the diamond push-up. Now these are incredibly effective at targeting the triceps, and you're going to feel such a big squeeze at the top of the movement. If you wanted to isolate the triceps even more, bench dips work great. I like to do these with 2 chairs on my sides rather than one sort of bench behind me, because it's easier on my shoulders, easier on my wrists, and I can get a deeper stretch when I perform this exercise. By the way, if anything in this video has helped you so far, and you want to learn more about how to start calisthenics, how to build an anime level physique, or maybe you're just looking for some like-minded people who enjoy calisthenics, anime, and self-improvement, then you should definitely check out my school group, Shonen Strength. There you get access to my exclusive community, as well as upcoming calisthenics workout programs that'll help you bring your physique to the next level. I'm also going to be doing live Q&A calls and hangouts, so we can keep each other accountable. You can ask questions if you have them, and me and the entire community are going to support you the whole journey through. Right now, it's in the early access stage, so I'm allowing anybody who joins during this period to join at a discounted price. So check it out, link in the description, school.com/shonenstrength. But hold on a minute. We've covered the upper arm, right? But now we need to target those tiny little forearms of yours. No offense. The simplest and the easiest exercise that really is effective on the forearms is an exercise that a lot of people skip, especially intermediate to advanced calisthenics athletes. And to be honest, I'm guilty of this as well. I should probably be doing this exercise more often. And that's the simple dead hang. Look, it may not be the flashiest exercise in the world, but I promise you that this exercise should not be skipped when it comes to building incredible forearms. Honestly, when was the last time you tested your hanging endurance? I know I haven't done it in a while. Probably should. Definitely should. But maybe you think you're too cool to hang and you want something a little more challenging. So let me introduce you to towel pull-ups. This is a very humbling exercise. Using a towel and training that crushing grip is going to really deeply target your forearms and your hand muscles. Are there muscles in the hand? I don't think so. I don't know, somebody fact check me. If you find that doing full towel pull-ups is way too hard, it's totally fine just to do dead hangs on the towel. Now, while I love this exercise and it's what blew my forearms up quite a bit, my personal favorite has to go to the false grip hangs. Now, this exercise can get pretty crampy, especially if you're not used to this, but it is super effective at building those forearms when you're constantly keeping them flexed. If you're super new to the movement, try instead using only one hand in the false grip position and your other hand in the normal dead hang position. That way you can target each arm individually and it's not going to be as hard. Like I said before, forearms are an incredibly attractive muscle to women, and especially if they're veiny. But you aren't going to be able to show your veins unless you get your body fat percentage to a lower number. So if you want to learn how you can burn fat and build your muscles up at the same time, then you can check out this video right here.